Hello my quilting friends! My name is Leah Day and welcome to this tutorial for this beautiful fused curved edge Dresden ring. And to make this we're going to be using both Dresden template number 2 and our 4-inch circle template. For this block you will need a 3-inch by 21-inch strip, a 4-inch by 21-inch strip. You're going to need your background fabric. I'm using this white fabric, and I just cut this big at 13 to 14 inches square. And then you're going to need some fusible web. I'm using light Steam-A-Seam 2, and I have already cut that into 1-inch strips. Now we are fusing and cutting both edges, so we are going to need a strip of fusible web on both sides of the strip. So I'm going to take my 1-inch strip here, peel off that paper backing to reveal the sticky fusible web, and I'm going to place one strip to the top. Make sure to do this on the wrong side of your fabric, guys. You don't want it on the right side of the fabric. So stick that on right there, and then peel off the paper and stick the second strip on the opposite side. And this way we can cut a beautiful curve both to the top edge and to the bottom edge. Okay, now the first fuse is pretty quick. You just run your iron along it just to get that fusible web nicely adhered to the fabric, but you don't want to press too long. That's pretty good. Now we are ready to cut out our shapes. The biggest thing that's important here is to make sure you're lining up the correct etched line on the template with your strip. So for our 3-inch strip, we're going to line up that 2.5 mark on the ruler and press that down firmly. Remember, I always use true grips on the backs of my templates. That's what these little donuts are here on the back. That allow me to get a really good grip on the fabric so it doesn't slip. So I'm going to cut first to one side and then change hands and cut to the other side. Be very careful cutting with your non-dominant hand. And then you may want to use a smaller size rotary blade. So this is a 28 millimeter for that curve, because that curve is the final edge of our Dresden. We aren't going to turn it under or do anything else to it. So we want to make sure that is nice and smooth and exactly cut against the template. So there we go. That is how we're going to cut those petals. You need a total of 4. And now let's cut some of these bigger petals. These are the 4-inch strip. You're going to line up the 1.5-inch etched line, just that 1.5. And really these numbers are really just lining up and helping you correspond with the other set of templates. So if you're mixing and matching both these curves and our pointy petals, that's what those lines really come in handy for. And we're going to learn more about that as we go and make more of these Dresden plates. And now let's talk about cutting the inner curve. So what we're going to do is take our petal and fold it in half. And this is really dark fabric, so I'm actually going to mark this crease line down the center so I can easily see where it is. So there's straight lines etched on the circle template. I'm lining up one of those etched lines with the line I marked, that crease line in the middle. I'm lining it up so that the circle is hitting both corners of that petal. And then I'm going to grab my 28 millimeter rotary cutter and I'm just going to swing around it. And we put fusible web to both sides. And so you can see I still have fusible web just a little bit all along that edge. And that is our finished shorter petal shape. And now let's take a look at these longer petal shapes. Because it's longer, it has a little bit more edge down here. So I'm going to take it again, fold it in half. Now this fabric is also very busy, even though it doesn't seem like it. That red grid pattern on the background is just really messing with my eyes. So I'm going to actually mark that line too so I can really see where it is. And I'm lining that up so that the edge of the circle is lined up with the edge of the strip. And down here, just to make sure this is symmetrical for my petal at least, I'm making sure that that second edge line is down here on that crease line as well. So that looks good. Use my 28 millimeter rotary cutter again and swing around it. Watch those fingers. So here's how we're going to piece these together. We're going to piece from that outer curved edge. So I'm going to start by putting my smaller petal shape on the bottom, top it with the bigger petal shape, and make sure to line up those outer edges and that side. And I do use a scrap charger here. I am piecing on my Janome 8200. Wonderful machine to piece with. I am using a special 1/4 inch patchwork foot that allows me to stitch with my needle pushed over to that right side, so that way I get really good use of my feed dogs. On a machine like this, where you have really wide feed dogs, you gotta figure out the best way to get an accurate 1/4 inch seam. All right, so for this I back stitched, and then now I'm carefully stitching down that edge, and I'm just going to stitch straight off this bottom edge, and I'll show you why in just a second. So here are our pieces put together in sets of 2, and you might be wondering about that stitching. I stitched all the way down to the bottom of this bigger petal. Well, I do that because it helps guide pressing that seam allowance over. So if I flip it over, you can see I've taken that seam allowance there and pressed it over all the way down, so that way I have a nice folded edge, and then I go into a fused edge through here. And I press this open just so I have the full expression of that seam. And now I'm going to take that shorter petal and I'm going to press that over so that it overlaps like that. So I pieced this together in sets of 2, properly pressing those seams as I just showed you, and this is how it turned out. Now, because of all this fusible web, you gotta do a little bit of careful tearing and pulling in order to get this off. We need to get all of this paper off, and it might be a little bit on the tedious side, but it's well worth it, because once we get this pressed in place, it's done. So I took my time peeling all that paper away from the back, and then now I'm just smoothing this into position. Just take your time with this, because if it's a little bit wobbly bobbly, you know, you don't want to start pressing, because as soon as you hit this with the iron, it is going to start fusing to that background fabric. So we want to make sure that we get it properly positioned first, and then we press and fuse. So that is it for this beautiful curved edge Dresden ring. I hope that you enjoy learning how to piece this with me today. If you'd like to find more of our Dresden ring tutorials, as well as our Dresden template set, come and check it out at leahday.com/Dresden.